Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. It was a political shocker. Premier John Horgan will step away due to health issues, and we have reaction. Canada Day is tomorrow. The weather will be picture perfect. Freshet concerns and evacuation alerts are up, and as a precaution, of course. And the Chilliwack Sports Hall of Fame, they need your help. They also need more exposure. Josh will have more in sports. Our special guests this week include Kelli Paddon and reaction to the resignation of the Premier, Paddon being the Chilliwack-Kent MLA. As well, BIA Director Trevor McDonald and the Canada Day Coordinator Margaret Kostrzewa, and Councillor Kloot in another edition of Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. There were rumors swirling about this past weekend over the future of Premier John Horgan. The NDP caucus held a weekend retreat. There were whispers the Premier would step down, and on Tuesday it was confirmed. Horgan will not seek re-election in 2024. A new party leader and a new premier from that will be chosen in the fall. chillTV spoke with Chilliwack-Kent MLA Kelli Paddon about that decision. We will have that interview later in the show. Canada Day in Chilliwack is tomorrow, and plenty of live events. Chilliwack firefighters will host the pancake breakfast at the Downtown Hall in Cheam. The Business Improvement Association Director, Trevor McDonald, and Canada Day events organizer Margaret Kostrzewa will join chillTV for an interview on what to expect. That includes chillTV broadcasting a Canada Day show. That starts at 8:30 tomorrow night with the fireworks at 10. We'll have that interview with Trevor and Margaret later on in the program. Nighttime construction along Vetter Road took place this week as the city crews and BC Hydro moving the power poles from the old position and widening the area between Promontory and Garrison, just in time for Canada Day. Hopefully this alleviates the bottleneck that has plagued drivers for weeks. Freshet watchers and alerts now in place for all First Nations along the Fraser River, as well as FVRD regional areas along the Fraser. That also includes the Harrison Rivers, as well Laidlaw and Rockwell Drive in Kent and Harrison. That's now under a large vehicle restriction. While Island 22's gatehouse is now open and there is a summer charge to get into the park, because of the Freshet, they've shut down the park. They will reopen when the waters start to recede. And then there are the mosquitoes. They're still there, and we will talk to Chilliwack City Councillor Kloot about the skeeters. Cultus Lake and Columbia Valley traffic under the microscope again with the recent heat wave and the upcoming long weekend. Traffic cones now in place to apparently restrict parking. And as in years past, many drivers are simply ignoring the cones or running over them, throwing them aside, and then creating their own parking space. Taryn Dixon is the Fraser Valley Regional District Director for Area H. She took to social media to explain why this is not going to be a quick fix. RCMP and the Ministry of Transportation only have so many resources and they can't monitor 24/7. Dixon is hoping new resources can be put in place, but she warns it won't happen until next year. Griffin Security now conducting their annual water drive. The water bottles are in their patrol vehicles. They are handed out to anybody in need. Last year, Griffin received and handed out some 60,000 bottles of water. Now, if you'd like to donate, you can drop off at their office at 9300 Nowell Street, or you can contact their office. They can arrange for a pickup. Indigenous families and individuals have started moving into new affordable housing with the opening of a 23-unit rental housing development on Chakchin First Nations Reserve. Now, construction actually started in May of 2021. Chief Derek Epp said that Chakchin First Nation contributed the land for the project. That's valued at $3 million, as well as $1.5 million towards the construction of that development. Indigenous Services Canada contributed $1.8 million to build a road to the site. The province provided another $2.5 million to the project through the Building BC Community Housing Fund, while the First Nations Finance Authority provided some $5.5 million in low-cost construction financing. Then, an additional provincial grant of about $300,000 was provided through the Investment in Housing Innovation Fund. Still with housing, but with a bit of a twist. There is a home that many thought was actually a heritage house on Victoria Street, next to the Chilliwack Alano Club. Well, the owners never sought designation, and for many years it was the home to a men's recovery outlet. chillTV has learned that the property, as well as the old auction house next door, will be demolished. However, with the age of the buildings comes the concerns for asbestos and lead paint, so the abatement is going to take time. Chilliwack Community Arts Council holding the third annual Vedder River Art Walk. That's coming up on Sunday, July the 3rd, a fun-filled afternoon with local art, music, and entertainment, along with the sights and sounds, of course, of Vedder Rotary Trail. More information can be found on the Arts Council social media. Long before the Chilliwack 4-H community gears up for the Chilliwack Fair, they do have other programs on the go. Their Junior Leader in Club is hosting All Things Furry Pet Drive as a food drive, and that runs until July the 20th. So there is a downtown location and a Vedder location for drop-off. All donations will be going to the Yarrow Food Hub. So just go to Chilliwack 4-H social media for more information. There remains a number of pets who were displaced after last November's flooding, and 4-H is helping out. Coming up, Chilliwack Councillor Chris Kloot and another edition of Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City, as well as the Canada Day preview. And next, a conversation with Kelli Paddon, MLA for Chilliwack-Kent, and the decision by Premier John Horgan to step away. And then later, Josh with sports. chillTV's News of the Week in conversation with Chilliwack-Kent MLA Kelli Paddon. Premier John Horgan dropping the bombshell that he will not look for re-election in 2024. We have a leadership conference debate sometime this fall. That's still to be determined. I do want to know a bit of the timeline of what you are allowed to say. Correct me on this. So last weekend there was a retreat, and you were there, or how many people were there? And is that when you all found out that Mr. Horgan is going to step aside in a matter of months?
Yes, there was a retreat. Last week we all met in Vernon. Most of the MLAs for the government caucus were there. And then that was followed by a cabinet, 2 days of cabinet meetings with with all the ministers and the premier. And then we found out officially not too long before everyone else did, which was yesterday.
In his speech, he mentioned something, and a bit of a history nut here, and call me old, but the premier mentioned that he and his wife had the walk on the beach, and that's when a decision was made. And I couldn't help but think 38 years ago, then Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, almost said Justin, Pierre Trudeau had the walk in the snow, and that was his aha moment of saying, okay, I think I've had enough. Did Mr. Horgan even mention this infamous walk on the beach? Or again, you found out when we found out?
So the really great thing about the announcement yesterday when the premier was making it was that he really did describe the human parts of this decision, of his walk with Ellie, of, he's starting to hum again now that decision had kind of been made in his mind. I think that I don't know about the other Trudeau's aha moment, but it sounded to me like, this was a really difficult decision. He's made a life of service. He's brought together an amazing caucus, and I think it's really great of him, and it shows what kind of leader he is, that he's stepping down from leadership. He's remaining as an MLA, and he's going to be there to guide the next leader as they build on the legacy that he's leaving. So I can't speak to everything that he was thinking, but those stories just go to show exactly the person he always is.
And again, because there's always social media, he is staying on as an MLA until 2024, until the next election. Got to ask the hard $64,000 question here. Is there anybody that has already hinted that they would like to have a shot at this? And then, having said that, either you or Chilliwack MLA Dan Coulter, is that on your radar to shoot for the leader of the party?
I can't speak for anybody but myself, and have learned that whether you're in politics or anywhere else, you probably shouldn't. So I can say that for myself, that's not something I'll be doing. I'm very glad to be focusing on Chilliwack-Kent and a lot of the work that's happening right now. And honestly, one of the benefits of how the Premier stepping down is that all of the work that we're already doing is continuing. There won't be that interruption that we so often see. So I have no sights of stepping into this leadership race, and no guesses. Every time I listen to any radio station or read any news article, I'm seeing the guesses, and I'm not weighing in on that.
Okay. The other thing, and on a very serious note, I mean, you and I, like many others, we know people or have family members who have dealt with cancer. You've been obviously working close with Mr. Horgan. He consistently hammered home the fact that the fatigue was an issue. How is he doing? He put on a very brave face, but anyone who has had any family, let alone close friends, dealing with cancer and dealing with chemo, know it can kick the crap out of you. How's he holding up? I mean, the Irish in him, I know he likes to, him and the Victoria Shamrocks lacrosse team are like that. How's he handling it though?
So he's still Premier, and he will be for a bit. And so he's been pretty honest, though the entire time he's been honest with British Columbians. When, yesterday he said he's tired by the end of the day. He talked about difficulty during the radiation treatments, like that it's hard. It's not easy, and his gratitude to the nurses and the health professionals who are supporting him through that. I was with him, like I said, last Friday, and he's the same. He's the same person, but he's telling us that he's tired. And I think that a big part of it was, we're not talking about someone, whether they are looking at continuing a job for 6 months. At this point in the mandate, if he wants to protect the work, which is, it's always his focus to, make sure that British Columbians are getting what they need, and that the work is happening to try to make lives better for British Columbians. He's not looking at if he's going to not only finish this mandate, but run again. That's 6 years. And so if he's feeling tired at the end of the day, which, like you just said, for all those reasons and more, is understandable, then looking at 6 years and realizing that, I don't think I can commit to that. I think that was what centered his decision.
Kelli Paddon, Chilliwack-Kent MLA, thank you for doing this on short notice, and give the Premier a ribbing from me. Hopefully he has his Victoria Shamrocks season tickets up to snuff, that he's ready to go for the next few years.
All right, thanks, Don.
Thank you, and you're watching chillTV's News of the Week. chillTV's News of the Week, continuing with another edition of Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City. Councillor Chris Kloot. We got a bunch of stuff to cover here, and covering some serious ground. Canada Day coming up. You're going to be doing the pancake breakfast, or being that you are a farmer, are you going to be able to get off the farm in time for pancake breakfast?
Well, the Canada Day events, our staff have managed to pull it together pretty quickly. Generally, they have some months to get things together, but because of the health order, we didn't know where we were going to be this year on Canada Day. But with the lifting of restrictions in April, we're able to have a Canada Day celebration, and kudos to our staff for pulling it together really quickly. And I hope to attend the pancake breakfast. Just depends what time I get out of the barn in the morning. And but really, just it's incredible that we're able to get together again and have that one-on-one contact with people. Better than dealing with cameras and Zoom and all that stuff. But it's going to be a great day. The weather forecast is fantastic to celebrate the 155th birthday of Canada, and looking forward to seeing what's all on the list to do.
Mike Choka was given the Order of Chilliwack, and for those of us who have ever met Mike and what he did with Bowls of Hope, we all choked up when the family received the award. This is not something the city of Chilliwack does every year, by the way. When was the decision made that, hey, we got to honor Mike?
Yeah, for sure. All the people that get nominated always have such an incredible history, and Mike's no different. And this is the first time the award has been presented to the family posthumously, and it's couldn't think of more of a worthy recipient. The idea came forward, I believe, from Councillor Mercer only a couple months ago, and we all, of course, right away, yes, absolutely, this makes good sense. And the legacy of Mike continues today with 850 children being fed in our community by 120 volunteers, and can't think of a better person to nominate, and obviously the big hole he left within our community, but it was good to present it to the family.
And a big shout out to Bowls of Hope. Chilliwack River Road, the multi-use use pathway with Chiacton First Nation. I know there's a lot of moving parts that still have to be put in place. Who is leading this now? Is that the city or is that to Chiacton?
The city has partnered with Chiacton. They're leading this project and certainly recognize the merit of it, and the city got on board, and looking forward to seeing that project. It's, I believe, due to be complete in October. That's a rapidly growing area, as you know, and there'll be a couple, I think there's 2 rapid beacons, crosswalks, so really excited to see this project move forward. And
Chief Derek Epp, very instrumental in that. The Freshet, we've got to talk about it. It's people are. And unfortunately, it's the byproduct of social media. It's not going to be 1948. It's not going to be 1972, but it could be comparable to 2018. Do you have any updates on that, or?
Yeah, certainly. So I have a farm beside the river, and we obviously keep an eye on what's going on. And if you've been over the Agassiz-Rosedale Bridge, you're seeing seepage in the farmers' fields beside the bridge. Comes with the territory of owning land near the river. Yeah. And while it certainly is an elevated year with the weather conditions, snowpack, late spring, we're confident that it will be a higher freshet, but I'm not worried about a major event. I was in Glen Valley this morning near Fort Langley. The Abbotsford operations crew was already sandbagging, as there's some properties outside of the dike there, and the river's getting fairly high, but they have a board there stating 1972 level, 1948 level, 2012 level, and it's still quite a ways from the 2012 level. It is due to rise, I believe, by the weekend to 7 meters, and in 2018, I believe it reached 5.8. So it is going to be one of those years where it's going to be, this is a pretty significant freshet, but pretty confident in our infrastructure to protect homes on this side of the dike.
With the water comes with those lovely mosquitoes. I was at Island 22 on Monday. I'm still scratching because I wore a tank top and didn't wear any bug spray. You're a farmer, and have you been bit a few times? Yeah, so
I've noticed in the last few days the mosquitoes are out. They are out, and certainly with a higher river level, there will be more mosquitoes this year. The Fraser Valley Regional District has spent significant funding in spraying the larvae, and it's late. It's a late spring. Generally we deal with the mosquitoes for 2-3 weeks in June, and we're just starting to see them now, and it's almost July 1st. So they're going to be there. Make sure you use your bug spray, and hopefully they'll be gone before we know it.
One thing that is always an inside joke with media and politicians in Chilliwack, budgets and the annual report. The annual report is coming out. We know a few people who love to go over it line by line, by line, by line. Now you can do it online, pardon the pun. But you said there's some interesting graphics that are going to...
Yeah, so out of the Mayor's Task Force for Diversity and Inclusivity, they brought forward some ideas, and it's been incorporated into our annual report. The annual report is like a yearbook, like if you were in high school, or in school, I guess. And it's a fascinating report of what's gone on in the past year. And so you're getting a snapshot. Average price of a single detached home in Chilliwack is around the $800,000 mark. 60 plus new business licenses last year, 5 off-leash dog parks, these types of things. And then you can go through the next section and actually find out more detail on it. So it is online, and I believe there's copies available at City Hall as well. But it is really a really fascinating document. It tells you the population. We're over 100,000 people now, and that doesn't come as a surprise. People are recognizing what a beautiful place Chilliwack is, and the ability to maintain a lifestyle here near the mountains and affordable taxation, and a city with no debt. Don't underestimate the value of that. We don't have interest to pay on loans, and certainly we're pretty fortunate here.
Councillor Chris Kloot and Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City. Again, thanks for coming by.
Hey, no worries. Great to see you.
And wear the bug spray.
Yeah, happy Canada Day.
And you're watching chillTV's News of the Week. chillTV's News of the Week and all things Canada Day with Margaret Kostrzewa, who is basically running Canada Day with Trevor McDonald of the BIA. Guys, welcome to the set. Tomorrow's the big day. All three of us are going to be pretty busy. We're crossing our fingers. There's nothing weird with the weather. First off, what's happening? I guess daytime. You're in charge of the daytime stuff with Canada Day?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
So what are we looking at now?
So throughout the community, we've come together, and the Chilliwack Landing Leisure is putting on a free swim from 10 till 12. The Shiam Center is actually putting on a swim as well from 1 to 3. And if you want to go skating, public skating, you can go to the Chilliwack Coliseum, and they will be having an open skate from 10 till 12.
Yeah, July the 1st, and we are skating on the ice. That's a good thing. So now we're transitioning into other stuff, Trevor, and that's with the stage and that?
Yeah, we have worked really hard with working with all the communities in the city to make sure that we're covering all the bases for a Live at 5. We always like to go live at 5 with our events at Townsend Park. This Canada Day is no exception. So tomorrow we go live at 5 with the Ever After Princesses, which is just a great local theater musical group. They're amazing and so fun with the kids and so interactive. And 5:45 we go into our official opening, national anthem, some ceremonies from our First Nations. Really just a beautiful, well put together opening ceremony. 6 o'clock, a well-known band, Judy Tuesday, our former mayor, Clint Hames, rock and roll. Now, it's so funny because Clint went from day job to rock and roll, and I went from rock and roll to day job. So that's what happened.
You swapped it, yeah.
I did. 7 o'clock, we have a really cool group of the Good Medicine music group, and they are Eddie Gardner and Holly Arnson and some beautiful medicinal music that we all can certainly use these days. Followed by Blues Hoodoo, which is Stuart Young and Ronnie Wells and Ian Potts, and a great instrumental band. I don't know if you've ever heard them, but they're absolutely amazing. It's a free show, by the way, man. So bring the kids. It's such a great variety of music. Judy Tuesday with the classic 60s stuff. Of course, a Good Medicine with the traditional music. Blues Hoodoo with kind of rhythm and blues and progressive music. And then we end the night with Stiletto, which is a good rock and roll band from Chilliwack, British Columbia, at 9 o'clock as we kick into the fireworks. And it's going to be a really amazing show. Just nice to see a live event tomorrow. I'm thrilled. And
the other thing too is it's live, so remember, parking's at a premium. Take transit if you can. I guess that would be the big thing to say. The other thing too is that chillTV is part of this. Is that Louis DeJager and Carin Bondar will be anchoring from studio here. We'll be cutting in with these two, and then yours truly with the fireworks. So it is going to be a long day. It's going to be a fun day, and the three of us are pumped for this. Big thanks to the City of Chilliwack, and a big thanks to Margaret and for everybody who stepped up. I mean, we love our community, and this is why we do what we do. I think it's going to be a great day for everyone in our community to get together and celebrate. Margaret, Trevor, thanks again for showing up. And we are pumped for Canada Day. And you're watching chillTV's News of the Week.
Happy Thursday, everyone. It's Josh here with you once again for sports. Feeling like Justin Trudeau with the red tie, white shirt combo. But it's Canada Day. Well, tomorrow's Canada Day, so we gotta do it. We gotta do it. I hope Don's doing the same thing. Better be. All right, let's jump into sports for today, beginning with the Chilliwack Sports Hall of Fame, who held their annual general meeting this past week at the Chilliwack Coliseum. They have not announced their new inductees to the Hall of Fame, but they did vote on a new president, Jamie Benton. He's going to replace Haley Ferguson, who will remain on the board. Now, the society was actually a little concerned because there was a very low turnout at the meeting, and they said they're going to work in the future to get better exposure in the community and hopefully improve engagement in the years to come. It must be AGM season because the Chiefs Minor Hockey Association also held their AGM and handed out a bunch of scholarships and the Volunteer of the Year award, which went to Lee McCaw. A new board was installed, and if you want to get involved in Chilliwack Minor Hockey, contact them through their website. There are some really cool things going on over there. Sticking with the Chiefs, we're going to give some congratulations to the U16 Chiefs for winning the BC Spring Hockey League Championships. The Chiefs beat West Kelowna 9-4 at the Coliseum last Sunday. 9-4, that's a crazy game. Brad Riella, the associate coach and GM of the team, said this league is still in development and hopes that further involvement with the BCHL will create a spring league for anyone who wants to advance their hockey career. More opportunities, always a good thing in hockey. The PGA of BC Golfathon for ALS was this week at the Chilliwack Golf Club. The notable duffers included Chilliwack Golf pros Connor Odell, that is, Zach Olson, and head pro Ryan Tafani, as well as course superintendent Caleb Fisher. Funds raised from the event are going to go to help create a world-class ALS center at UBC. Finally, the Canadian men's senior wheelchair basketball team are playing host this week to the Netherlands, who are going to be here from July 2nd or through till July 2nd at the Toronto Pan Am Sports Centre. 13 athletes will be participating in on-court and off-court activities over the course of the 6-day camp, including Chilliwack's Ben Hagkel. The camp will serve as final preparation for the men's team before they head to Sao Paulo, Brazil for the America's Cup later this month. How it's going to work is the top 4 men's teams at the America's Cup will earn the right to represent the IWBF, that's the International Wheelchair Basketball Federation, in the Americas region in Dubai at the World Championships this November. All right, that is all we have got for Sports Day. That was quick. We breezed right through that. As always, if you've got a sports story this summer that you want me to talk about, I'll hype it up. I'll make it sound cool. Send it my way, news@chilltv.ca. Happy Canada Day once again to everyone. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next week.
Chill TV weather, it is the Canada Day long weekend, so expect mainly sunny skies and the highs near 25. And if you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. Don't forget the bug spray because the mosquitoes are out. I'm Don Lehn.